From Casey Stadium in Albany, New York, it's the PLL on ESPN, powered by Ticketmaster. Redwoods meet Atlas, a matchup of two legitimate championship contenders. And it is the start of a beautiful friendship between the PLL and ESPN this season. Ready for the face-off, Erlin and Baptiste, the two greatest to ever play that position. Erlin wins the opening draw.
Here in transition.
Jake Richard, Danny Logan over to the wing, and like that, it's 1-0 Atlas.
This is going to be magic, right? You got Jeff Teed on the left, Chris Gray on the right, and when you give Seven and White time and room, it's just so smooth, the deception, the low to high rip, and how effortless he is with the stroke, Ryan.
He makes it look casual.
With Teed, you have Gray on the right who virtually could do the same thing.
This is what we're in for today at the stripe. Neither yielding an inch. And round two to Baptiste. Flips it over, shot, score! Jeff Teed again. 2 goals in a row for Teed, the Rookie of the Year in the PLL a season ago.
His body control. He just sees defenders all around him and is just so poised. And I think the biggest difference between TD and Trevor Baptiste at the face-off stripe is Trevor's ability to generate offense. You're going to see him after winning this draw and push it forward. He draws Eppel and a backhand flip, and the teat, that little hitch, he lets Hallenbach, that short stick defensive midfielder, run by him, get to the middle of the field, increase your angle, and bang, 2 in a row.
It's a master class in the subtle movements. That was 2 steps that made a world of a difference in terms of increasing his angle.
Lineups are powered by Ticketmaster. A heavy Notre Dame flavor to this Redwoods outfit. Nakai Montgomery subbing in for Redwoods. Hennenberg stops at X, snakes around. Shot is saved by Concannon on the rebound to score.
When Quint Kesnick talked to Jules Henningberg at halftime of game 1, he talked about his creativity, his improv ability. Follow up the shot, you feel the pressure top side, rip it BTB, 7 in green. In PLL, athletic ability, risk taker.
Miles Jones against Danny Logan. Jones says, "Get off me."
That's 6'5", 250, Ryan.
And Logan was putting up a fight. I mean, he's the reigning short stick defensive midfielder of the year. But against Miles Jones, it doesn't matter. Lean in, get off me, and bury it. You see the size, the strength, the accuracy, and the velocity all in one package. Oh yeah, go on and flex, Miles.
Jones to the far side. Down to Kai Montgomery. The rookie from Duke, great feed, and that's gonna be a flag. Bertrand got mauled, the dive inside, the goal is good.
We have a good goal.
The penalties wiped out. Would have been a 30-second hold, but it looked like the Atlas is a little discombobulated when the flag goes and then the ball hits the turf. They're not numbered up. And it's time to go airborne if you're the Woods.
not only airborne, he faked high and then shot low. He got airborne and got a fake off on that attempt.
Jules Hannenberg with his second of the game.
Here's the deal, too. Jules has been an attackman his whole life. In professional lacrosse, he gets moved to the midfield. When you play attack and you love the position and you have all the experience, when you're on the field all the time, you get those kind of plays.
Going.
Costabile to the cage, trail check. It comes to Troutner, flag down.
Look who hit him. 52 in green. Watch your back.
Costabile broke a stick.
Pass on Redwoods, 52. 1 minute, unnecessary roughness, late hit.
This is a penalty, as you see Costabile just gets absolutely hammered. They're calling it late. But that's a penalty. You're establishing the inside, saying that if you're going to go down the middle of the field, this is what will happen.
Spot on, Kark. This is a penalty you take in the first quarter to eliminate that threat in the fourth quarter.
It's like when Charles Barkley would purposely get called for a charge.
Mm-hmm. Costabile broke his stick on that, actually. He had to run to the bench, get his backup stick, and get back on the field for this power play.
Yeah, he's a dangerous weapon on the power play, despite only playing 7 games. He's had a hand in all 3 Atlas goals. And that's the first time we get Teat to Gray. Get used to a lot of that.
Didn't take him long. And what a sharp angle with his stick to the outside, just showing off his accuracy. Good job finding that lane, but that is a severe angle. And his ability to drop his stick low and yank it back. I mean, that's bar down. Does this hit the side bar, the top bar, just about every bar, Kark?
It's an unstoppable shot. And let me tell you something about Chris Gray. When you watch him, I've watched him for 5 years. As much as everyone wanted to call him a quarterback, he's also, in the college game this past year, was the best off-ball player, I think, out there.
And how many times, Kark, during commercial breaks, we're doing a UNC game, we'd look at each other. We haven't called Chris Gray's name a whole lot. Then we look down at the stat sheet. It's halftime. He's got 3 goals and 2 assists.
He's a superstar that can have those type of numbers, only holding the ball for a minute.
Costabile against Jack Neer. A long one. It's good. Bullseye. John Crawley, the newly named assistant coach and offensive coordinator at his alma mater, Johns Hopkins.
And this is what he can do. He likes the right hand with space and time, Ryan.
Yeah, it's a beautiful finish by Crawley. Stepping into one. This was all set up by the double team generated by Costabile. You've got to double team him. Costabile's ability to get away from pressure, get his hands free, and find the trailing Crawley.
I think there was a communication breakdown there between the defensive Finn Sullivan and Sergio Perkovic, who was caught on defense. Quint, what do you have?
They matched up a lot in the ACC. Now Miles Jones, he's got a short stick. Jones feeding Hannenberg for the goal. Kark, you said it in the open. Jones statistically the best passing midfielder in the pro game.
He's matured over the years. As a college midfielder, he was drive to the cage, stop him with brute force. Then the double team started coming. He has a short stick matchup, so Atlas has to support this matchup. And Hannenberg stays patient in that seam.
Yeah, you could just see all the Atlas defenders just staring at the ball. And you've got to be mindful of your man and the ball. You lock in on Jones because you're so worried about that matchup. And they didn't even really slide there. And he found Hannenberg just open right on the doorstep.
I credit Hannenberg 3 goals. Teat against Eppel. Teat hits the crossbar. Crawley on the rebound. Little Saturday evening post.
Be careful if you're Garrett Eppel going over Jeff Teat's head. He is baiting you.
Won the entire thing. Atlas surprised a lot of people last year. They were 6-3. John Crawley surprised Troutner It's another goal for the Atlas.
And this is just beautiful body control by Crowley. He's just gonna kind of post up Jack Neer. There's no advantage gained on the initial dodge. It's just an off-ball cut by Crawley. You'll see Crawley catch it with Neer kind of right on him, but the advantage was gained earlier in that cut. Crawley acts like he's gonna set a pick, fakes it. Beautiful hand control and stick control in terms of catching that on the wrong side of his body, getting it back and getting that shot off.
All in one motion, and you're seeing the full display of an excellent all-around midfielder. Crowley showed you time and room, now off ball as a cutter. That's why he's in this lineup. In an unbelievable shape because of those legends.
Ryan Hallenbeck took a shot to the head, flag down.
We even mentioned Joel White and John Galloway.
The list goes on and on. There's
Connor Busick.
There might be 10 Hall of Famers in that class.
Matt Cavanaugh, free possession here for the Redwoods before the power play. And now the whistle and a power play opportunity.
Fouls on Atlas, number 24, 1 minute, slash.
Every youth coach in America is going to take this clip and show it to their young attackmen and say, this is why we don't throw these checks kind of as a guy's clearly crossing midfield, just risk reward those.
That's not really on brand for Chris Gray, too. When you watch him over the years, he's known as an elite rider who's technically sound.
A couple of former college teammates. Now Curry, wing dodge. Nice move, Teat. Jack Kelly is right there for the save. Isaiah Davis-Allen right there for the save. Isaiah Davis-Allen gallops inside the arc and a hot shot and a save on the other end.
Low.
Great Dane, and he gets to play on the same field he played his college ball. Right there on the doorstep, Law fakes Kelly out of his shoes. 31 years of age, the tri-captain, the wily vet.
Eric Law's able to handle a pass from Chris Gray that has some deception. Earlier, his teammates couldn't, Ryan.
Yeah, and Chris Gray, eyes up, beautiful touch on this pass. He's gonna sweep across the field and freeze it right here. You're gonna see the initial slide occur, and here's the second slide. He's supposed to go over here, and Chris Gray's gonna see through all of that and identify Eric Law right on the doorstep. As you see Glazer get caught a little bit, he's lost in that terms of that second slide, and Eric Law just sneaks around the cage and gets Glazner napping.
But you know what that comes down to? An entire defense thinking Chris Gray is a shooter. Like at the last second, he turns into a passer.
Ben Rubio, his head coach, telling us yesterday, the offense just moves faster when the ball touches Chris Gray's stick. You saw it there. Lax IQ off the charts. He knows what to do with the ball before he gets it. Touch pass, that started with Gray, and it ends with Law.
Anish, you're spot on. Chris Gray handles the ball like it's hot potato. And he's surveying the field, and he won't statistically get anything for this. But he's the reason for the goal.
Yeah, and you had a little 3-on-2 here. Gray's got the ball, so you see these three Atlas players, and meanwhile, they're matched up against these two Redwoods defenders. This is after Gray caught it. He's gonna quickly move the ball. You see all the attention Gray gets. Beautiful skip pass there by Dearth. Good identification and find by Gray, and then Dearth, and Law's the benefactor.
Can we give Eric Law some credit, though, moving without the ball, knowing tendencies of teammates, knowing that I'm going to get the ball when I move and I find seams when I'm playing with guys like Chris Gray and Jeff Teat? It's
starting to crystallize for all the other PLL teams watching. This Atlas offense with Gray and Teat, it's going to be a chore to defend. This Atlas offense with Gray and Teat, it's going to be a chore to defend.
And I think it starts with Baptiste at the stripe. Because when he plays make it, take it lacrosse, then these guys can just get in rhythm.
This Atlas offense with Gray and Teat, it's going to be a chore to defend.
And I think it starts with Baptiste at the stripe. Because when he plays make it, take it lacrosse, then these guys can just get in rhythm.
Doc Sakin finds the back of the net, and that's what we're seeing. The Atlas with their largest lead of the game. It's 9-5.
The biggest takeaway with the Chris Gray, Eric Law, Jeff Teat attack line. None of these players are going to demand the ball. None of these players are going to have to say, I'm the quarterback, this is my offense. It doesn't matter, they're all chameleons.
And their IQ, Kark, is off the charts. So they can all anticipate plays, and they can all dodge, they can all feed, they can all shoot. Law doesn't have as much range maybe as Gray or Teat. He's more of an inside finisher, and he's money inside. But all three are able to get everybody else involved. At the bit to get back on the field.
And he got rest.
Yeah.
Costabile hammer! Four unanswered for Atlas.
The whole field is just tilted towards the Atlas offense. And they've got weapon after weapon after weapon. And this guy can break you down, shoot on the run, and make you pay if you don't help.
You want to see what a jumper looks like from a midfielder. Ryan Costabile, one of the best young middies in the PLL. You better stretch out or it'll make you pay.
What do the Redwoods have to do here to get back into the game? Dangerous skip. Van Raphorst, so good at playing passing lanes.
Danger time.
Gray gets it back. Gray cranks and scores! I think we got an early favorite for Rookie of the Year.
Anytime you hear the net, Kark, it's the best.
Music to my ears.
You saw this coming a mile away in transition. Gray gives it up, family style. Everybody eats, I'm getting it right back. Almost a carbon copy from earlier, same spot, different angle, but same result. This camera angle will be gorgeous. Nails the pipe.
Can get this thing going in no time.
Jones against Craig Chick, the double came, shovel to the crease, and a save by Colorado. No, it went in. Thought he had it for a moment. And that's Henneberg again, that's four.
This is the maturation of Miles Jones. You see the attention, everyone going to him, he becomes the distributor.
He sees the double team so beautifully, and then he reacts accordingly from there. You're going to see him kind of dancing back and forth. Eventually, the double team's going to come. Freeze it right here. You see the double team on ball on Jones right here. And then behind the play, this is what I want you to keep your eyes on, is these three players, Rob Pennell, those three guys right there, they're going to go inside to Pennell. And then Van Raphorst is going to slide upfield, and Pennell, the body control and stick control to get that pass to Henneberg. So after that double team, the Redwoods are able to exploit a 2-on-1 between Pennell and Henneberg with the lone Atlas defender, Van Raphorst.
Jules benefited initially trying to get open when Miles had the ball. And he was lucky that Miles threw it to another elite passer in Rob Pennell.
By Perkovic. Bucaro feeds inside, and a slam dunk for Jeff Teat.
I think Daniel Bucaro is one of the fine slide drawing type offensive players. He's got elite type speed. He's able to identify a matchup. And when you watch him in the pass, Ryan, this is what he does. He can draw and dish.
Yeah, and you see Eppel slide upfield, and there's just no second slide behind the play. There's the help by Eppel, and you can see Glazner just a hair late. There should have been help from kind of the backside or the weak side, the opposite side. It doesn't show up, and if there's one guy you can't leave alone, it's Jeff Teat.
It's Jeff Teat, and it's Chris Gray. And the common denominator is both of these guys, everyone knows them as players you build an here. And the sad news is for the rest of the league, they have a ton of draft picks in the coming years.
Come on.
Jeff Teat.
Come on.
He reads the Saturday Evening Post. That's 4 for the Rookie of the Year from a season ago.
So often when you get a short stick, you go to the perimeter and you say, I've got to have the ball. But when you come from a box background, you can play off the ball too. And you see him, he's got a short stick matchup. He cuts hard to the ball and gets the rock with momentum in motion. How he scores from that angle, I don't know.
For a lot of our ESPN viewers unfamiliar with what box background means, explain that.
Yeah, grew up in Canada, so the bulk of his younger career and developmental years, he's been playing box lacrosse, the indoor version. Then he plays at the NLL, all outside of the PLL, so he is a full-time lacrosse player, so he's able to take all the concepts they use from box, small, tight spaces, one-handed play, and you kind of saw it on display there. He's contact, doesn't matter, shrugs it off.
Garnsey. Garnsey in front, and another goal for Hennenberg, his 5th.
I'll go back to saying, when you're an attackman and you've played midfield before, when you're home and you're at the attack spot, you get these kind of opportunities. So then your confidence grows. If you're Jules Hennenberg, I know you're a team guy and you can play midfield, but you want to play attack.
What I love about that is he presented a target. You know, he got to that open space and he kind of sat down, almost like a wide receiver in a zone defense. Don't cover yourself. You've cut to the open space. He sat down, he presented a target. That way Garnsey could easily find him, and then he evaded the pressure and shot through the stick check.
This, to me, if you're Nat St. Laurent, it's not a matter of Jules taking one of the other 3 attack spots. You have options now. Based on matchups, you have 4 guys, and you could run one of those 4 guys through the box. It just doesn't have to be Jules all the time. And you could run one of those 4 guys through the box. It just doesn't have to be Jules all the time.
Baptiste wins the faceoff, accelerates ahead, and he puts it through. Trevor Baptiste, the top faceoff man in the PLL in 2 of the last 3 years.
Trevor, when you win that draw, what goes through your mind in terms of being a shooter or a passer?
I'm just trying to run as fast as I can. Looking at the wing guys, trying to get in the hole. And it just all worked out this time.
What do you think of this offense with Chris Gray playing with Jeff Teat?
Say that one more time.
What do you think of this offense with Chris Gray playing with Jeff Teat?
It's pretty phenomenal. You know, these guys obviously are talented players. You can see all the skill, but the unselfishness, the way they move the ball, is what takes them to the next level.
You can shoot.
Son Clarella powering the athletes under the helmet. Clark just got in 2 questions to a player who's now lining up right at the face-off stripe. This is the sort of access the PLL has given you guys the last 3 years. Ryan, when you did the games at NBC, they continue to push the access with the players, with the coaches. It's what makes this pro game.
Super high IQ player, Paul. And also, like those 2 guys, can play off ball. He's not somebody that has to have the ball in his stick.
That's the thing. When you think of that unit, the one word that comes to mind is chameleon. They're all chameleons.
Drive, hands on.
Straight path to the goal. Kelly with a save. And comes to Eddie Glazner off the rebound. And now Jack Kelly, the former Brown Bear, will set up the clear. It's been a long road back for Jack Kelly, having to battle through injury.
Yeah, it's just great to see him out here. Saw some game action last season. Performed well in relief of Tim Troutner. I mean, he was considered at one point the best goalie in the world.
2018, he made Team USA as a netminder. He had that injury, and as a goalie, in ACL, a lot of people would think, oh, you just sit in the goal. No, your explosiveness, your quick twitch, your ability to get from pipe to pipe. There's a lot of agile type movements.
We're seeing good goalies now in their upper 20s and early 30s.
Costabile slips.
Whoa.
And they'll say in the crease. Now one of the... Kavanaugh gets rid of it.
Good help by Durkin.
Montgomery. And a shot and a score, an assist for Nakai Montgomery. Ryder Garnsey with the brushstroke. It's 15-8.
Nakai Montgomery gets his first professional point. Over the years, he's a multi-dimensional midfielder who can get to the rack and score, but his vision is elite, and he'll be a future superstar, and he finds the lefty Garnsey. Atlas up big.
I also think the level of athletes, I've never seen anything like it watching this game today from field level. Seeing a Sergio Perkovic, seeing that goal right there, and the physical price that is paid. I think it's Dan Buccaro who gets to the middle left-handed and just trucks the defensive midfielder and pays the price. These are elite athletes that are getting bigger, stronger, faster every single year.
Buccaro gets absolutely hammered there. In the contact that Quinn's talking about, I mentioned Buccaro's a straight line dodger, kind of like a Brendan Curry. Who's in the middle dropping the heat? 52 is like a middle linebacker. His favorite NFL player of all time, he grew up in Baltimore, is Ray Lewis. That's why he wears 52, and he hits just like him. Garrett Epple. He's not happy right now.
Buccaro took a big hit, and I think Ben Rubior is pleading his case that that should be a power play on top of the goal for Atlas.
People are tending to forget about him a little bit. I think he's coming back with a bang.
Nakai Montgomery for two! His first tally as a pro.
This is significant for two reasons. Number one, his first PLL goal, so let's get that ball and take it home. But Montgomery demonstrating that he is a two-point threat. That is only going to benefit him moving forward, because I see him being a better pro than college player, and his vision and ability to distribute. If he can hit from two as well as Jones and Perkovic, it's going to open up the inside to him.
And at 16-10, you're telling us you got three two-point threats now? This is technically a three-possession game.
And the final thing that I was going to get to is point differential matters.
Yes.
So in terms of playoffs,
shaded by Van Raphorst.
This is when the Atlas will stretch out and prevent the two ball.
Bertrand on the run. It's 16-11. That's a 1. 2:09 to go.
That's a big goal by Bertrand. Normally when you have TD Earl and you feel really comfortable about the face-off, right? At the stripe. But you're dealing with Trevor Baptiste. So to get the one, normally like, okay, TD can fill it up and give us one. But that is elite placement by Charles Bertrand, who had an awesome rookie season. One of the surprises of the PLL, Ryan.
This might be worth a challenge. Did you look at his footwork there? He looked like he was tiptoeing around the two. I wouldn't be surprised to potentially see a challenge here.
One more look. Was this a one or a two? Let's see where that foot is.
Oh boy, that's close.
That is awfully close.
Does he get that off before the second foot goes down?
This is a good angle. He's good here. He's still good.
It's right as the release.
Nope, that ball's still in his stick. Just
Fraction of a
barely.
second.
That ball is barely in his stick when that second foot comes down on the line. Otherwise, that really changes the tenor of this game.
We were talking about Romar Dennis earlier from the Atlas. That's a Romar Dennis type shot. To shoot on the run from 2 range, that's gas.
I mean, your momentum is taking you away from the goal. It goes counter to everything you teach a young player. Hey, always get your momentum going to the goal.
Q.
That is insane to think that a guy could take a jump shot on the run from 15 yards. Matty Palin making the call. It's a 1-point goal. Nat St. Laurent turning to his backup goalie, Timmy Troutner, who's looking at the...
Final 40 seconds. Teat, one more. A 5-spot for Jeff Teat, who's already built a foundation for his MVP case in 2022.
Not much you can do here if you're Kelly. Your defense is pressing out. Easy find by Costabile. Teat all by himself. He's going to bury this 10 times out of 10.
When Jeff Teat catches the ball on the low left wing with that much time, there's only one word I think about: automatic.
Now the scary part here, Atlas scoring 17 in its opener. And we heard from Jeff Teat in the interview with Quint earlier in this half. Oh, they're just getting started with their chemistry. This team has a chance, Ryan, to be scary good.
The amount of possessions, and they want to maximize the amount of face-offs to give Trevor tons of opportunities to get momentum and give more touches to this offense. They want to win shootouts.
Flag down, that really doesn't matter. Atlas will run out the clock, shot clock violation, so they'll add a couple of ticks back. Not quite over, just bookkeeping. And they decide to say, all right, we're done. Atlas 17, Redwoods 11. Here's the goal of the game.
And it's in Chris Gray fashion. Top shelf.
Penthouse Provolone to take us home. Atlas 17, Redwoods 1. The PLL is officially on ESPN. 2 more games tomorrow on the app. Star Power, the likes of Sowers and Wisnauskas, Matt Moore, and the great Lyle Thompson. Atlas a winner today. Whip Snakes a winner today.